Okay, because of the shenanigans of having to restart from the last save to get to where I was when I ran out of space last time, my current goal is different. But because of randomness, I'm actually closer to 100% affection with Eddy. So, watching Eddy makes me want to become a well-rounded person too, is what I'm currently working on. Attended a nursing conference with some colleagues from work. I learned so much. Alright, so we did a nursing conference all week. Commonplace hospital. That's what I was trying to remember. Like, not general hospital. Okay, I'm at 39. So I should be able to start working on diligence after this, because I'm going to get 28, and that's way more than 7 that I need. So let's do that. And I'm getting sweared at in German. But now I'm just dying for coffee and stuff. That's fine. Scene 7. Anything else I can get you? In my head, I'm silently praying that she says no. This particular patient has been pressing the nurse call button seemingly nonstop. First it was ice cream, then another pillow, then the TV remote wasn't working. The 4th time she called me, she actually forgot the reason. I dropped what I was doing, came to her room, and was met with a confused stare. At that moment, I felt like I deserved a medal for not losing my cool. Do you know how hard it is to retain a good bedside manner when a patient is this annoying? The bothersome woman looks around the room one last time, then kind of shrugs a bit. I'm taking that as a no, and getting out of here before she can conjure up another errand for me. Alrighty, just call again if you need anything else. It pains me that I have to say that to patients, even when I don't really mean it. Honestly, all I want to do right now is take that stupid call button away from her. Oh well, at least I'm free for now. I close the patient's door and excitedly hurry down the hallway. Earlier today, someone told me that there was cake in the staff lounge, and I haven't been able to check it out yet because this persistent patient will not stop calling me. But I won't let her bully me anymore. I'm getting a slice of cake before it's gone, and nothing will stop me. Finally, I round the narrow hospital corridor and enter the staff lounge to discover there's no more cake. Oh, woe is me.
Amy.
I lift my defeated head and see Eddy leaning against the wall in the back. Ah! You took my last slice! In his hand, he holds a paper plate with what appears to be cake on it. Oh, thank heavens. I weave through the other tired hospital personnel and make my way to my husband. Upon arrival, he holds the paper plate out to me and shrugs.
It's just the frosting. You can have it if you want. You know I only like the cake part.
But the frosting is the best part. It's the cake part that's bland.
You're weird.
I'm not weird. It's like a complete you or something. It's like a complete you? It's romantic. I hastily gobble up the buttercream frosting, speaking in between bites. So what's the deal with the cake? Is it somebody's birthday or something?
No, Luke was promoted.
Oh, that guy I met the other day.
Yes, him.
Cool, good for him. Oh, Eddy, are you having jealousy moments right now? I could honestly care less. I'm just happy that there's cake.
Oh, here comes the man of the hour.
I scoop the last bite of frosting into my mouth before looking up. Luke is headed our way, arm extended.
Eddy! And Amy, correct?
Right.
Congratulations, sir. No need to call me sir, Eddy. It makes me feel old.
Luke shakes our hands and gives me a quizzical look. He motions to the corner of his mouth and winks at me. Is that some sort of creepy come on or something? You've got cake on the side of your mouth. Suddenly I feel a sharp nudge in my side. It's Eddy.
Amy, you've got some frosting on the corner of your mouth.
Oh! I wipe it off and lick my finger. You didn't really think I'd let that frosting go to waste, did you?
That wife of yours, Eddy.
A deep-throated laugh emerges from Luke, but he soon regains his composure.
Anyhow, I was just coming over here to invite you two to a little party I'm having tonight. It's just a small celebratory get-together at a local bar. You two are welcome to stop by if you have time.
Of course, we'll go if we can.
Wonderful. Well, I'd better get going. I've got patients to attend to and such.
Naturally. In fact, I should get back to work too. Eddy springs forward, ready for action, and the two colleagues exit the staff lounge together. I seriously consider licking the paper plate. It's just been one of those kind of days, but ultimately decide against it. People think I'm odd enough as it is, and I don't want to give them more reason to think that. Well, I guess it's time for me to return to the nurse's station. Later that night.
Is this it?
I look at my smartphone, then out of the car window at the building to our right. According to my GPS, Eddy and I decided that the polite thing to do would be to drop by Luke's party and congratulate him. Eddy doesn't want to stay long, since large social gatherings make him uncomfortable. This is fine by me. In fact, maybe we'll get home early enough to have some time together before bed. Honestly, though, regardless of whether or not we leave early, at least we'll be together. That's all that I really want anyway. Aww. Eddy parks the car and the two of us enter into the bar together. This brings back memories of dancing. The bar is pretty packed, mostly with young people dancing in the center floor, but we notice several familiar faces, including Luke's, occupying several tables near the back. Eddy whispers something to me as we make our way to them, careful to make sure no one is within earshot.
Let's hurry up and congratulate him so we can get out of here.
As we near the others, Luke abruptly stands up and enters the dance floor.
Oh, great.
Eddy plops down in one of the vacant seats, arms crossed. I sit next to him and place my hand on his shoulder. I hope he can enjoy himself for the short time that we're here, even if it's just a little bit. I know I'm going to try to have fun. Several of those at our table are engaged in gossip, something Eddy and I have no interest in taking part of. We sit for a while watching the others and waiting for Luke to come back to the table, when a group of nurses from another table invite us to join them on the dance floor. That sounds appealing, but I also know that Eddy doesn't enjoy dancing. What should I do? I'll stay with Eddy. Not gonna abandon you. Thanks, but I'm incredibly tired. Eddy and I just got off of 12-hour shifts, so we're aiming to stay off of our feet for the rest of the night. Sorry. The group appears somewhat bummed by our decision, but they ultimately accept it and meander back onto the dance floor. Eddy looks surprised and whispers something in my ear.
You love to dance. Why didn't you go with them?
As much as I love dancing, I love you more. This is like me and my husband. My husband hates dancing. So sometimes I'll be like, it's okay, I'll just stay with you. It's like, but you love dancing, just go dance. I will eventually. Besides, I can't leave you here alone, when you obviously are hating every minute of being here. I might come back and find some young thing flirting with you. A tilted smirk forms on Eddy's face as he rubs his chin.
That is true. So many women come after me. I can't beat them off with a stick all by myself. I need your help, too.
Hey! You'd better watch it or I'll beat you with a stick. Eddy holds up his hands defensively and leans back, but the grin he's wearing tells me he knows I'm only joking. I lean forward and playfully hit his chest, laughing all the while. Whoa! With an abrupt motion, Eddy brings his face to mine and kisses me. I gotta say, now that I'm on Eddy's route, I just noticed that we, never kissed Aaron. The entire time we were once, and that was, on our anniversary and one ending. We've, not only kissed, but we've had, sexy fun times in the bedroom and so forth in this route already. Just, oh, Eddy, I knew you were a good one. Alright, kissing. Mwah! I'm caught off guard, since Eddy usually doesn't like to do this sort of thing in public. He kisses me again, deeper this time. Hey! Eventually, he pulls away, then locks his eyes with mine and drops his voice to a whisper.
I already congratulated Luke at lunch. And he's seen that we stopped by, I'm sure. We've done our part. So why don't we get out of here?
The glimmer in his eye tells me he's got something planned, and I desperately want to find out what. With a nod, I take his hand and we go home together. What happened later was much more satisfying than dancing. And I was pleased that I decided to stay by my husband's side rather than join the others. Oh, Amy. You naughty thing. I love you. Continuing on as we pass out. It's okay, girl. You just gotta get to 100 in diligence, and then I'll give you some coffee and stuff. Look at that smiling face. I don't even need to worry about relaxing and so forth. I hope I have enough time. Scene 8. My phone buzzes, waking me up from my nap. Groggily, I reach for it, click the accept button, and hold it to my ear. Hello?
Hey, Amy. Are you alright?
Just woke up.
Oh. Well, I just found out that I've got to work later than scheduled tonight. I won't be home for a while.
I let out an inward groan, but managed to mumble some encouraging words to my husband. Sorry, sweetie. Silence lingers for several moments until Eddy clumsily cleaves through it.
Well, that was the only reason I called. Bye.
Bye. I click the call end button and drop my phone on the floor before burying my face in the couch throw pillow. Ugh. He's working late. Again! He's worked late nearly every night this week. I've been so bored at night without him home. One can only watch so many 90s sitcom reruns without going terminally insane. Suddenly my phone vibrates again. Ah, please tell me it's not those friends. Did Eddy forget to tell me something? I grabbed the device and squinted the screen. Oh, it's a text from Carrie. She wants to know if I can join her at a local bar. Well, it's not like I have anything to do here. I'd rather not. I finished all of the housework this morning so that I could enjoy my time with Eddy tonight uninterrupted. It would be good for me to go hang out with her rather than just stay here and mope. With new resolve, I pull myself up off of the couch and begin getting ready. After I'm done, I lock up the apartment and walk to the nearby bar. Once there, I immediately spot Carrie at a small table near the front. I sit down and order a drink, then the two of us begin catching up. It's not long before I hear a familiar, if not slightly irritating voice. Hugh! I was wondering when you were finally going to show up. But Carrie, if you try to hook me up with Hugh, I will murder you. No offense. Man, when I heard that you were a nurse, I was kind of hoping I'd get to see you in one of those cute outfits. But when I run into you, you're dressed like a homeless lady. I turn to see Hugh, an old friend from before Eddy and I were married. Actually, Hugh and I kind of had a thing together, but nothing ever came of it. Surprisingly, Hugh doesn't seem to have aged much since the last time I saw him. I sink in my seat a little, embarrassed by the faint stress lines that have since etched their way onto my face. A homeless lady? I raised my voice in anger, but in retrospect, the ill-fitting sweater, Pentecostal-style skirt, and unkempt hair bun did make me look rather homely. Okay, I do look like a bag lady, but I've worked 2 double shifts and an all-nighter this week. I'd like to see how you'd look after a week like that. Regardless of the situation, I always look good. He runs his fingers through his hair in a playful, exaggerated way. Well, nice to know some things never change. It's a God-given gift. I can't turn it off. We all laugh at his teasingly narcissistic sense of humor. It feels good to be around someone so lighthearted. The air around Eddy and I have been so tense lately, though I imagine a big part of that is a result of our stressful jobs. Can I join you, ladies? Sure. Carrie responds enthusiastically with little thought. Though she's a bit older than Hugh, the glimmer in her eye and the dopey curve of her mouth reveals that she's completely enthralled with him. Dopey curve. Hugh tends to have that effect on people. Hugh gladly fills the empty seat and turns toward me, ignoring Carrie's amorous stare. He briefly talks about where he's at in his career, tersely answers Carrie's question about whether or not he's seen anyone. The answer was no. Then steers the conversation towards the past. While we're reminiscing, recounting stories of how we met and the escapades we had together, I suddenly see Eddy out of the corner of my eye. He's making his way towards our table, his jaw more tense than usual. Husbando, don't be so jealous. What on earth is Eddy doing here? I thought he had to work late tonight.
Hey, Amy. Decided to head out with a friend, I see. And Hugh.
I redden and bury my face in my hands. This is not going to end well. Hey, Eddy. Long time no see. What have you been up to?
Amy and I have been working hard at the hospital lately.
Eddy's hand grips my shoulder almost possessively. Oh, the one that's only a few blocks away?
Yes, I'm a doctor there and Amy's a nurse.
Congrats, man. I wish you both the best of luck with your careers.
Thanks.
Eddy's reply is notably unenthusiastic.
Not to be curt, but what are you doing here with my wife?
Oh no, Eddy.
Amy didn't even tell me that she was going out tonight, let alone with an old boyfriend.
His grip on my shoulder tightens, so much so that it's starting to become painful. Oh, Amy and I were never a thing. Hugh waves his hand in the air, almost as if he's trying to swat away the idea. He laughs nervously, trying to relieve the tension. I just stopped in for a drink and saw an old friend. I figured it would be cool to chill and catch up with him for a bit before I left. I didn't realize it would be such an issue. Though he speaks with a carefree smile, a bitter spark ignites in Hugh's eyes. His words carry a nearly imperceptible edge that cut ruthlessly at Eddy. Instead of getting upset at Amy for some harmless convo, why don't you explain why you were here earlier drinking with some fox in the corner booth? Oh, throwing down the shade. Although, you said convo instead of conversation. Hugh. Ha ha ha. Hugh grins haughtily as if to say checkmate. I don't know why I thought that as he laughs haughtily. He grins haughtily as if to say checkmate. Eddy flounders. Why are you blushing? Eddy! Flounders in response to the question, alternating sporadically between interjections like, well, but, and I, all while fidgeting awkwardly. Unable to watch any longer, I stand abruptly and grab Eddy's hand. Well, it was fun. We'll have to do this again sometime. Maybe with less fighting next time? Okay, bye. I reel and pull Eddy out of the bar, thoroughly embarrassed by his juvenile display. As we walk, I analyze the situation in my head. Is it understandable that Eddy is mad? But why were you here? I thought you were working late. Was that just a big ruse? I suppose it did look suspicious, me drinking with someone that I used to be interested in and then not telling Eddy about it. Not like you had a chance. But it's not like we were alone or anything. Carrie was there too. But how did Eddy find out about it in the first place? Didn't Hugh say Eddy was there with someone else? That's right. Hugh said Eddy was there drinking with another woman earlier. Eddy didn't tell me that he was going out tonight either. In fact, he told me that he had to work late. I'm not sure who's more at fault here, me or him. What should I do? Okay, let's not start with accusations. Let's apologize first, and then we can hopefully go to this. Eddy, I'm sorry. I should have told you, but I figured you were busy at work and I didn't want to bother you. And Hugh wasn't invited, he just happened to be there and he saw us. I didn't suggest that he join us. He asked and then Carrie said yes before I could say otherwise.
You don't have to say anything more. I believe you. I was just in the moment. I wasn't thinking rationally and I acted on my anger and jealousy.
I smile and give his hand a squeeze. That's something I've always liked about Eddy. Though he can be quick to anger, he always apologizes and admits his fault soon after. I've heard of some husbands that are too prideful to admit that they were wrong, even when they're unmistakably aware of the fact, i.e. Aaron. Though Eddy is one of the biggest perfectionists I've ever met, it's nice that he can admit that he does indeed slip up from time to time. Ah, see, now he comes out with it. That's good.
About that woman that Hugh said he saw me with. That was Lorna. I knew it was Lorna. I believe you two have met.
Yeah, I think I remember her.
She just wanted to ask me for some advice, that's all. There was nothing... It wasn't like that.
I believe you. Eddy breathes a sigh of relief, then continues.
There were a few doctors that were supposed to return from a conference this afternoon and work night shifts, but their flight had been delayed and it looked like they wouldn't be able to make it, so hospital asked Lorna and I to take over their rounds. However, they ended up making it home in time and they wanted to work, especially since Lorna and I had already worked that morning and afternoon, so we got to leave early. Since we were both off, Lorna asked if we could go somewhere and talk. She wanted advice, and she's fresh out of medical school. She said that I've come a long way in my few years of being a doctor, and that she'd like to advance in her career as rapidly as I have.
Why a bar, though? That just looks suspicious. No wonder Hugh got the wrong idea.
I suggested a coffee shop, but Lorna said she didn't like coffee. She really wanted to go to this bar for some reason, and she didn't want to take no for an answer. I caved, but I figured that they served food, so it wouldn't be that inappropriate for 2 colleagues to meet up there. It's not like we sat at the bar and downed several beers. I didn't even order a drink, just a sandwich. I didn't realize how it would look to an outsider like Hugh. That's why I didn't tell you. I knew that what I was doing was innocent, so it didn't even occur to me to mention it to you. Besides, I figured that you'd be asleep, and I didn't want to call and wake you. I know that you've got to work another one of those 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. shifts, and if I had rejected Lorna's offer and come home, then you'd probably feel obligated to spend time with me, rather than rest before work, right? I was just doing what I thought was best for you, honest.
I look into Eddy's eyes, desperately wanting to believe everything that he said, but there's a pain in the pit of my stomach that causes me to question him. It would be so easy for him to cheat on me, my head reminds me. Just a call saying that he's working late, when really he's at some motel. Although my heart wavers, I somehow mustered the ability to smile weakly and utter the words that he needs to hear, even though I myself am unsure of their validity. I believe you, Eddy. So troublesome, though. Girl, what you gotta be this way? You're the most suspicious woman, although it was warranted in Aaron's route, maybe it's warranted here, I don't know. Ugh. I hope I'm gonna make it. With my dying. And another scene. I lay flat on the couch, eyes closed and gripping the edge of a small trash can. On the TV plays a documentary about penguins, but I'm too focused on the growing, uneasy feeling in my stomach to pay attention. Amy, are you pregnant? At first, I had thought that this was some sort of food poisoning. When you're working all the time, you often have to rely on the hospital cafeteria or local restaurants for sustenance. It's not unlikely to occasionally get a touch of sickness after trying out a new place. However, these bouts of nausea have been going on for days. You'd think food poisoning would be out of my system by now, right? I sit up and lean over the trash, thinking that I feel a heave coming, but apparently it's just my imagination. Frustrated, I place my head in my hands. My natural tendency is to catastrophize when events like this happen. I start to worry that I have cancer or some horrible, incurable disease, but then I reason that that's highly unlikely. Yeah. But if this isn't food poisoning, then what could it be? The penguins in the documentary suddenly begin making this horrible noise, prompting me to fumble around in search of the remote. I'm already nauseous, I don't need a migraine on top of it. As I'm digging through the couch cushions, I hear the narrator explain that male penguins call for their mates as they return from the sea after breeding. Once they're reunited with their companion, the female incubates the egg while the male takes off to the sea to feed. I lurch again, grabbing the trash can and gripping it to my chest. As I'm fighting back the physical urge to lose my lunch, a thought occurs to me. No, it couldn't be. I couldn't be. Could I? Finally, the unexpected wave of nausea subsides. With shaky knees, I make my way to the bathroom and reach inside of the cabinet, eager to disprove my suspicion. After several minutes of apprehensive waiting, 2 red lines appear on the device. I check the back of the box just to make sure this means what I think it does. I'm pregnant. Check it a few times, girl. It might be a false positive, but considering your feelings right now, ugh. Slowly, I sink back onto the couch, endeavoring to digest this new life-changing information. What's the appropriate thing to do in this situation? Jump for joy? Excitedly call my husband? I don't feel compelled to do either of those. In fact, this revelation has only intensified my uneasiness. Not that I'm not happy to have a new life growing inside of me. I really am, it's just... this isn't the best time right now. Mine and Eddy's relationship has been strained lately, but we've been taking steps to improve it. I don't want Eddy to feel obligated to stay with me simply because I'm pregnant. I've seen couples that have nothing in common, but they're bound together because they have a child. Then when that child goes off to college, they get divorced. I don't want to be like that family. I mean, you guys aren't that bad. I bite my lip, fiercely concentrating on the problem at hand. No, I won't tell Eddy. Not yet. I want Eddy to stay with me because he loves me, not because his traditional sensibilities oblige him to. No child should be raised in a home with 2 parents who don't love each other. Yes, this is for the best. How long are you gonna keep this a secret for? This is terrible. I won't tell Eddy until we patch things up. If we patch things up. But I'm sure we will, because... Suddenly the doorbell rings, interrupting my train of thought. Dread fills my stomach as I slowly crawl onto the floor and hide behind the coffee table, careful not to make a noise. It's them again. Solicitors! I lay perfectly still behind the coffee table, trying my best to be undetectable. I won't let them get me. Not again. Sure, I've been weak in the past. I've made mistakes. Our quadruple slot toaster, 14-pound tub of MoxyClean, and never-before-used carpet shampoo are all proof of that. We don't even like toast, but the salesman said that it was a special price only available on that day. I figured that our taste buds could change and that we might like toast in the future. Who knows, maybe the toast would even taste better coming out of a machine that expensive. Needless to say, Eddy was not as optimistic as I was. How did you find out where I live, you creepo?
Amy, it's me, Hugh. Are you there?
It's Hugh? Wait, does this mean that Hugh's a solicitor now? Well, you know what this means. We can't be friends anymore. Sorry, Hugh. This is the way things have to be.
Amy, I just want to talk. Answer the door.
Oh, he's not a solicitor. Just a friend wanting to catch up. Uninvited friend. I guess that makes more sense. Amy, you're such an idiot sometimes. Ah! My cell phone abruptly starts buzzing, startling me and causing me to jump. It did, though. I check the caller ID and see that it's Eddy. Hastily, I grab the device and creep into the bathroom, unsure what to do. Eddy told me not to associate with Hugh, but if I answer the phone, then Hugh might hear me. Then he'd know that I was ignoring him, and that likely hurt his feelings. I know Eddy doesn't like Hugh, but he's a nice guy, and I don't want to make him feel bad. But on the flip side, Eddy will be upset if I don't answer the phone. He knows I'm home alone right now. Even if I did think of a convincing excuse, I'm a horrible liar, and Eddy can almost always see right through me. Why can't you just tell him, sorry, I would have answered, but Hugh was at the door, and I didn't want to answer the phone because he would know I'd be home. Tell the truth! Why would that be like... anyway. Why is this so difficult? I don't know what to do. Answer the phone, you damn woman. I should probably take this call. Eddy doesn't call from work all that often, so this could be an emergency. I answer in a hushed voice, desperately hoping that Hugh can't hear me. Hello?
Why are you whispering?
There's someone at the door.
Another solicitor. For the love of God, Amy, don't buy any more MoxyClean. We have 14 pounds of it, and it doesn't even clean well.
It's not a solicitor.
Then who is it?
It's Hugh, but I don't think he knows I'm here. I hid behind the coffee table, but I'm in the bathroom now. I honestly don't think he saw me.
Hugh? Why the hell is Hugh there? He has no business coming to our home when I'm not there. Does he have any idea what that looks like? The neighbors will think you're having an affair.
Eddy, calm down. I didn't answer the door. I'm not talking to him just like you said I should do. You shouldn't jump to conclusions either. Hugh could have a perfectly innocent reason for stopping by.
And what reason could that be,
I don't know. I'm just saying you can be kind of distrustful sometimes. There's a long pause on the other end of the line, causing me to wonder if the call was dropped. Eddy? Are you still there?
I'm coming home.
What? No, don't do that. You still have 3 hours of work left, right?
Someone else can cover my shift.
That doesn't look good, Eddy. Don't you want that promotion? Everything is fine. You're overreacting. Stay there until the end of your shift. I won't answer the door or the phone unless it's you. We can talk about this when you get home, okay? Eddy is certainly hesitant, but he reluctantly agrees. Why did you call anyway?
I can't remember now. Ugh.
He lets out a small groan, then speaks again.
My break's almost over.
Okay, well, I won't keep you any longer. Goodbye.
Bye.
I love you.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh! Eddy! I hear a click, followed by the dial tone. I drop the phone by my side, feeling worse than I did before. I know that I technically did the right thing by telling Eddy about the situation. But the pain in my chest causes me to wonder if honesty really is the best policy. Yes, it is, girl. Don't even worry about it, alright?